All right, Shalom. First, I'd like to start by saying all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is just a couple of quick scriptures, and after this, I'm gonna just play a video. But this is Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." You know, we've been watching that via the news. You know, that's how you measure the times when you watch the news articles, the news clippings. You know, not the American news, the alternative news sites like RT, Euronews, Al Jazeera, Rupley, uh, who else? Press TV. You know, that's how you measure the times when you watch the news, because that's because you line it up with the scriptures, and it's basically prophecy. It says, "Then shalt thou understand it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." Right, you can see that going on now today, man, with all the earthquakes and the famines and the riots, the uproars, what's going on in London, the yellow vests protests, these people going against the government, you know, for rights, and what else? They were going against them for a couple of things. I'm gonna play the clip afterwards, but yeah, you got tornadoes happening everywhere now, you know. So, but it says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world," right? "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." Right? That's why it's called prophecy, to say what's going to happen before it happens. You know, and ain't no other book got any prophecies in it but the scriptures. You know, and if they do got prophecies in it, it came from the Bible. You know, so this was written, long time ago, and now you seeing it coming to pass, man. You know, especially with that yellow vest protest that's going on. You know, they really riding and stuff. They got police out there looking like an army and stuff, man. It says, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." Right, and we're living in the end times, and this is the end times, the end of Esau's kingdom. You know, right along with the rest of the nations, because of all these prophecies that's coming to pass. Esau, you know, went against the Bible. You know, they didn't uphold no laws, none of the statutes, commandments, judgments, nothing in the scriptures. You know, which brought about curses upon this world. You know, but you know, it started from the garden, from Jacob, as far as Israel go. But this world has always been on a decline. You know, but I said Jacob, I think Adam, Salakia. It's Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein," right? Destruction to the world. "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another." Right? The sword and their destruction, talking about the nuclear missiles, because you got nuclear missiles that's going to hit specific countries, and you get missiles that's going to hit specific countries. "And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." And that's talking about race riots. You know, you've been having that pop off every now and again. "For there shall be sedition." Sedition is uprisings. People uprising against their governments, man. Just look at all the countries in the Middle East are main prime examples of uproars of the people, or sedition of the people, man. Bahrain, London, I think Iran got uproars going on right now, or seditions. You know, and it's all because of Esau. Esau gives you their money system, and devalues the currency, which fucks with your currency. For a lot of these nations, and that messes up your country. And they also send agent provocateurs in to have it to where your people uprise and you know um, ask for democracy. To where the women rule over the man, and it just messes up your whole culture. Your regular customs that you had. Esau comes in and brings their wickedness in, and their philosophies, which destroys your country, and then end up taking over your country. Because they saying you being evil or wicked against your people and stuff like that. So they come in like they're the police of the world and shit, and for people's rights when really they're not. They're really working for Satan. You know, and ultimately the elite's agenda is to bring in a new world order. So that's why a lot of this stuff is happening. You know, because they know that they got a short time right now. These elites know that Yahweh Shai is raising his men up and he's on his way back. So they try to bring in this new world order. But this is Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it. So a lot of these uproars are due to Esau's sitting in the age of provocateurs and them messing up the currencies of the other nations. It says, because it is in the power of their hand. Right, they got the power to do so. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, and that's what they have been doing. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. Alright, go back. Alright, this is back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, right? Uproars against the government. Esau does that, send them agent provocateurs in to have the people uprise against their government and topple their president, But if they can't topple, the president and whatnot, they send in, their troops and stuff like that, or they give the people weapons, But Esau, just like how they doing in Syria, how they did in Libya, and those two prime examples of that happening. But it says, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, right? Because these people going to start killing their government officials. Especially over here in America, and they have been killing their government officials, or they, they have been killing their government officials over in the Middle East. Over here in America, that's where it's going to hit the hardest, and that's what we're waiting on, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? That's why they created the purge and all the purges and stuff, man. That gives you an idea of what's coming. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? Because these cities are going to be quarantined off, by way of either a militia or a government force, of a police force or something. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? So America, and its wicked customs, is the reason why this shit is happening. But it's still prophecy. It's the bringing in of Jacob's kingdom, and when a lot of this stuff is going on over there in the Middle East and in these other countries, and they're not putting it all out there on what's going on, man. So, but yeah, that's just a couple of scriptures. I'm gonna just play the video afterwards, and that's it. But With that being said, all praise due to the Habashim Shai, Bashim Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.